Hello and welcome to Phoenix Cinema Podcast. I'm Chris Austin.
And I'm Luke Parker.
And this is a podcast where we discuss the programme of one of the oldest picture houses in London, Phoenix Cinema. And today we are discussing Tim Mielant's new movie, Steve.
Set over the course of one pivotal day in the mid-90s, the drama Steve follows the titular head teacher, played by Cillian Murphy, of Stanton Wood, a last-chance reform school for troubled teenage boys, as he fights to save the institution from closure. Grappling with crushing institutional pressure and his own secret struggles with mental health and addiction, Steve's focus is split. In parallel, the film details the turmoil of one of his most complex students, Shy, a gifted but deeply troubled teen wrestling with self-destructive impulses. As the school faces an uncertain future and the TV news crew arrives to film an expose, the pressures mount, pushing both the idealistic yet flawed head teacher and the volatile student to their breaking points, highlighting a thin line between the struggles of the students and the adults trying to help them. So Chris, was this one even on your radar?
No. I mean,
this film kind of came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
It did, and it just feels so like even the title, just Steve. It's like it doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah, it feels a bit unremarkable, doesn't it? And especially with it being like a Netflix film, it kind of, like a lot of Netflix films, they kind of just appear and then they just kind of get lost amongst the absolute ton of content that they shove out every year.
The shuffle, yeah, completely. Yeah, so I think if it wasn't for Phoenix showing the movie and being like, oh, okay, so it's getting this limited release, and then I looked at it, oh, Cillian Murphy, oh, it's Tim Mielant, the director of Small Things Like These. Then I became, once I saw who the director was, then I became really, really interested in seeing it, because we both loved Small Things Like These, right? We thought it was really, really good. I feel like having Cillian Murphy as the front man in this film was really doing the film favors, because I know, at least for me, if I didn't see his face, this film would have gone even more under the radar for me. Such a good point. Such a good point. I think the only way that they've truly marketed it is, hey, look, there's a film with Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
And I think they're relying on the fact that Cillian Murphy's the draw, and that's it.
Yeah, it does feel
and
like that.
People are going to press play. Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I think the film has a lot to offer, and it's a very emotional film, which has a lot to say, I think. So it'd be a shame for this film to go under the radar. I
agree. And I hope that Murphy, and I hope that it's working. I hope Murphy is the draw, considering how prevalent he is currently. Oscar winner not so long ago, right? 2 years ago for Oppenheimer and Peaky Blinders, all that kind of stuff. So I hope so. So what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a very powerful film. When I first started watching it, I was like, oh, okay, I appreciate that it's only 90 minutes long. It's quite rare these days. I know we've had this conversation quite a few times, but by the end of it, I was at the point where I was like, this could have benefited from a bit more, I think. Because even though I think it does a great job of tackling all these different issues like addiction and trying to mask your struggles in an attempt to help someone, or like trying to mask your struggles by trying to help someone else, that kind of thing. It does a good job, but it does kind of feel a bit rushed for me at some points.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what I mean when I think, even though the ending and how the film reaches its conclusion is good, and I found it very emotional, it was a bit of a tearjerker for me. I think this could have very easily carried a lot more weight by being a bit longer, and essentially they could have explored these characters and this story in a bit more detail quite easily without it feeling bloated. And I kind of, by the end of it, I'd wished they'd done that.
Interesting. Yeah, I was happy with the length of it personally, but I would also have happily sat there for another 15-20 minutes.
Because they're
Yeah.
great characters, right? And they're characters that people
Mm.
the characters that people can easily relate to. Maybe not to the extent where you see these young lads who are like very problematic and like going through very specific struggles, but there's kind of elements that of yourself that I think anyone could pick up. And I just thought the characters were really engaging, and I was very, very invested in their stories.
Completely, and like from the very start, I thought I watched this with Carrie Ann, and I thought it was so interesting how locked in she was to the movie from the beginning, like quiet, not taking her eyes off the screen. And I was almost observing her in a way, watching the movie, and I was like, she is hooked, and I could see why.
I
It's
think,
gripping and so
yeah,
compelling.
I think I was the exact same, and I kind of think one of the reasons is it's a little hard to put my finger on, but it's very fast paced, and the whole film is like contained within pretty much 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
And even though it's not filmed as one shot, the film kind of moves as if it is filmed as one shot, kind of like Boiling Point or 1917, one of those movies. Just the way of how it's always very concentrated and almost feels like we're tracking him throughout his day, and as all this shit goes down.
Yeah, you can actually, if they decided to have this be a one-er, it would. I don't know if it would work better or just as well. I don't think we lose anything by it not being, having that gimmick to it. But yeah, I totally get that. It has the same energy as that,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. What did you think of the performances?
So good. I thought it was I mean, across the board, the performances are excellent from the entire supporting cast. But in particular, Jay Lycurgo or Lycurgo, who plays Shy, and of course Cillian Murphy, who anchors the whole thing. It's amazing, the performances, but it's particularly from this guy Jay, this young kid who plays Shy, the remarkable, slash unremarkable Shy, I think is incredible. Carrie Ann made a comment about how incredible he is with what the story he tells just with his eyes.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where Mielant cuts. I mean, you couldn't beat the close up is of his eyeball. And it's just wide, and it's just, you can just transpose anything you're feeling into that moment. So I think it's a great comment. But yeah, no, really, really impressive.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of my favorite shots of the film, I'm not going to get into details, because it could be a big spoiler, but it's where, like you said, you have like this close up of Shy at this angle with this big focus on his eyes and how he's looking, and the pain in his eyes, and how he's able to portray that is really, really impressive. So we have this shot of Shy, and then it cuts to a exactly symmetrical shot of Cillian Murphy with the exact same look in his eyes. Yeah.
Is that at the end?
Yeah, it's towards the end. And that's like,
honestly,
that's the message of this film, like in a bottle, isn't it? It's like everyone is struggling, and even those who put on this sheen to help others are still suffering behind closed doors. And I just really, really liked it.
Yeah, truly. I mean, the final 3 minutes or so of this movie, the montage, is an absolute gut punch. It's such a powerful ending with such a powerful and uplifting message. The editing at the end of the film is superb.
Yeah, I mean,
endings are this.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I mean, endings they're so difficult, right, to get right, to nail it, and this movie does that. this, like, it's worth getting through the movie, not even getting through it because the movie's great, but it's worth getting to that ending because it's just, yeah, so powerful.
Yep, I completely agree with that.
Mm.
I appreciate as well that the film left you not knowing how it was going to end until right at the end.
Oh,
you
God,
know?
yeah. Yeah.
I was there with my heart in my mouth, like, what is going to happen? And it's very rare that I feel that way. So yeah, and I agree with what you were saying about the editing as well. There's some amazing shots, like drone tracking shots that are just so perfectly put together, and it's just very unique. And very interestingly, I think I noticed straight away how different this film felt to All Smith's Small Things Like These.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Even though it has that kind of same deep emotional core to it, the way the film is made is night and day to me.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so interesting. It's so stylistically different from how Mielant presents Small Things Like These.
Yeah.
Which is very, I want to say, unshowy, right?
Very subtle,
and
very slow. Yeah.
Very subtle. And in this, we've got, I mean, the film is already, like you mentioned, Luke, it's filmed in this really chaotic, handheld way. And we're also cutting between these VHS interview segments.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all of a sudden these, incredible choreographed drone movements. And then what I thought was also really interesting is how it switches things up towards the end. I mean, from a narrative that's very down to earth for the entire movie, all of a sudden we get these very suggestive, almost hallucinatory sequences.
Yes.
But it works.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's quite impressive.
Like, it does take a bit of a turn, and
yeah.
At first I did think, oh, is this going to feel a bit out of place? But no, you're right. It really did work.
Yeah, how did they do that? How did they manage to tonally keep it all on the same track? I thought I was quite impressed by that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And speaking of performances, I love that Emily Watson shows up again.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing in most things. Not quite as powerful a role as she had in Small Things Like These, but still very effective as the counselor. Right? She has.
I think she's an
presence.
Amazing actress.
Oh God,
amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing her in Hamnet, even though I think again she only has quite a small role.
She's in Hamnet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna feel.
I'm very excited for it, to be honest with you, because I really like Nomadland, and I like Paul Mescal, and yeah.
What? Why'd you say Nomadland? Is it the same director?
Yeah, Chloe Zhao. Yeah.
But didn't Chloe Zhao also do
Eternals? Let's not talk about that. I haven't seen that, so I can't say.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen Eternals.
That's why you're so excited. Oh God!
What did you think about the music for this one?
Didn't notice it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was really nice. I feel like every episode we do, one of us is like, oh, I didn't notice it. And the other is like, no, it was really good.
Yeah. No, I really didn't. But again, we speak about this all the time, but that's probably to the composer's credit, because their names popped up, and it's two composers, right? It's Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow. And I think they do a lot of work together.
Ben Salisbury rings a bell for sure.
They work a lot with Alex Garland. They did Ex Machina. They did Annihilation.
Oh, I love the score to Annihilation.
Civil War. Yeah. So they've worked with him. They did Men. So they've worked with their Alex Garland's guys.
Oh, cool.
But I didn't really notice it, to be honest. But yeah, so it was good.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those scores that I'm probably not going to go and listen to in isolation, but I think it really did a good job within the film to, like, especially towards the ending, when, as you said, those final sequences are really like the acme of the movie. And
yeah.
and the emotion. I think it does a really good job of elevating that even further.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to listening to some of it, because
Mm.
obviously we take a piece of it, we'll put it in your intro. I like to go back and listen to the scores
Yeah,
of the
sure,
films we
sure.
discuss. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's you mentioned at the start of the call that the movie did make you very emotional.
Hmm.
Was that the ending that we were talking about? Did you leave the movie emotional? Was there one specific moment, without going into spoilers, obviously, but
Yeah, it was primarily the end. Obviously, primarily the ending, and it's just quite a hard watch to see not just one but two people go through in parallel such conflict, like such internal conflict and such mental woe, and it's not an easy watch.
yeah. Yeah, I find that so fascinating, because I remember when we all spoke, because it was me, you, and Zaylan that spoke about small things like these. And do you
Hmm.
remember when I said to you both that, because me and Carrie Ann watched that film together in the cinema,
Hmm.
and when we left, as we were leaving the screen, she burst into tears.
Hmm.
And I said to her, I said, What is it? And she went, I don't know. I can't tell you why I feel like this
Hmm.
right now.
Yeah,
But that was how the ending of that movie. Do you remember the ending of that movie? Oh my God, incredible. Do you
I
remember
actually can't.
walking in? He's walking with
Hmm.
her, who he's
Yeah.
gone to go and get. He
S
walks into the house,
Oh
and
yes, I
it's
do.
just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sound of his family, his kids at the table. He walks into the kitchen, and then you just hear the silence.
Hmm.
And then we cut. I mean, speaking of
Yeah,
endings, Mielant knows how to end
yeah.
movies.
Okay,
But
that rings a
but
bell.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely
during
remember.
the credits of this movie, as soon as the movie ended, she burst into tears again,
Hmm.
and she just had to compose herself and take a moment. And I think I mean, that's two for two now. you know and it it goes to show how powerful, yeah, these how effective these films are, that Mielant has done, these last two movies
Hmm.
with Cillian Murphy in the lead. It's remarkable. And I didn't burst into tears myself, but I was feeling quite emotional.
Hmm.
I was definitely teary-eyed,
Hmm.
that's for sure.
It's just
um
because in this one there's so much going on, and you know that it's building up to something. You don't know what it's building up to, but you know it's building up to something. And even though it's a great movie, and I would definitely recommend this to people, like this for me was quite an emotionally exhausting watch because
mm, mm.
because of that like impending knowledge that you know something's going to happen, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have not just one but two unstable characters who are both bubbling up to something, basically.
yeah, yeah. And actually, the ending is teasing,
Hmm.
something that may happen to one of them. And when I before I watched the movie, I saw it was based on a novella called Shy.
Yeah.
So the book is called Shy, and they've called the movie Steve. So either way, I thought, oh my God, these are clearly the two most
Yeah.
important characters, and something bad's gonna happen
Hmm.
to one of them. But
I want to read
what
this
I
novella.
love, oh, I would love to now. I would love to. It's yeah, it's
Very recent. I thought it was going to be like a classic, but it's 2023. It was
oh my
published.
God,
Yeah, so they were right.
bloody hell,
They were
that's
quick on it with this movie.
whoa, yeah, Max Porter. Um, wow, that's a revelation to me. I didn't know that was so recent.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, one of the things that I loved about this movie, and I was hoping they would maintain it, because they also did it in small things like these. We spoke about it as well, is those small notes of ambiguity throughout the
Hmm.
movie. Mielance isn't interested in spoon feeding the audience, right? They
Yeah.
did the same thing in the other movie. They deliberately keep some things a little opaque, and it's the same here. I mean, what Murphy's character is going through emotionally and physically, and the secrets that he's keeping, to himself, and I don't want to give it away, but the final moment we see of him, it's very much left up to the viewer to interpret what happens next. It's all very ambiguous. Lots of things are brought up and mentioned, but not fully explored, and that's great. The movie gives us just enough. It gives us all we need. So I'm so glad that was still present. Yeah.
I was watching something today, and it was another podcast. It was just a clip from a podcast they were talking about the film industry, the film and TV industry, and one of them was saying how writers these days, they're told by producers and studios to make their films obvious and to make their content obvious, so that people who aren't paying full attention, if they're scrolling on their phone, if they're doing some online shopping, if they're doing something else, just having it on in the background, so that if they're doing that, they can jump back in at any moment and know what's going on. And
boy.
Yeah, I thought that'd be your reaction. But this film doesn't pander to that kind of storytelling at all.
Yes, and it's reflective of the times that we're in, though, right? Because I mean, I don't know how this movie industry is able to. I mean, I have this conversation with friends all the time. People's attention spans now, they're not what it used to be. There's too many distractions. We have smartphones, laptops, iPads that are demanding our attention, and to do a million different things in the space of 5 minutes.
Yes.
So, yeah, no one pays attention the way they used to, but it's still lovely to come across movies that have the patience and the respect and the the expectation that you are paying attention. It feels so rewarding, right? I feel like with this movie and One Battle After Another is like, when do we get such an adult, smart thriller?
Yeah.
When does that come around? It doesn't really.
Yeah.
Oh.
This movie and One Battle After Another, they're refreshing in the sense in that they command your attention, and as a viewer you're willing to obey because it's so engaging, it's so well made that it becomes hard not to be distracted. No, it becomes hard to be distracted, sorry. Yeah.
Perfectly put. Yeah, perfectly put. And really, and interesting too, because one is a purely theatrical release, and the other is a streaming release. And, there's always a conversation to be had about the two of them and the way that they get distributed. But even sitting at home where the distractions are ever more present, we couldn't take our eyes off the screen. We were hooked, So yeah, exactly that. Yeah, credit to them. Amazing. Cool. Do you have any other thoughts before we move on to some pairings?
I think just again, like I know I mentioned this before, but the film is extremely well written in the sense of the characters that it builds and how in such a short amount of time it can make you care for what's quite a large cast of characters as well.
Yeah.
And again, that just feels quite unusual and refreshing. And I think it's just worth mentioning. Commend the film for it.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, it's Max Porter, the guy who wrote the book, is the guy who adapted it as well.
Oh, cool.
And wrote the screenplay. Yeah. I do wonder whether he just did that himself or whether the moment it was optioned to become a movie, then he wrote the screenplay. I'm curious as to what came
how this came
first.
about.
Yeah. But he adapted his own work. And like you said, credit to it. I mean, because the filmmaking is what I think brings it to life, but it's also, it's good to note that the writing is also brilliant. Yet, I think it also feels so improvised too. It feels so raw and like
real,
present,
and it just feels real.
Yeah, real. Those VHS segments, for instance, where they're interviewing all these kids. It's like don't tell me that was scripted. Come on. If it was, then they all should get Oscar nominations.
Yeah. That's
You know what I mean?
That's something else to mention as well, actually. Like, the decision to include this like camera crew who are coming and filming this segment expose on the school, I think that was quite a bold choice, but it was very clever in the sense that it really let us go and look at each character and have a bit of time with them and really get a sense of who they are as a person. It was quite a good device, I think, that they used.
Yeah, because they're not ever present, right? Throughout there's a point where they kind of just go away. But you're right. So then what's the point of them? Oh, it's for those individual moments of those cutaways. Yeah, do you know what? I just realized that now. I just realized that now. It is quite genius, yeah, as a structure, which then makes me think about, like you said, the novella. Are they even in that then? Or was that for a screenplay structure? Yeah.
I'd be very interested to see.
Yeah. And again, just like small things like these, based on a book, and we're like, God damn, this is making me want to read this now. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. How did you get on with pairings?
I have one. Maybe it's a little obvious. Do you want to go first, if you have one?
Okay, yeah. So for me, this came to me pretty quickly. And the movie that I thought of was Short Term 12. Did you ever see that?
I've not actually heard of it.
Oh, great. Okay. This was a film it was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. And funny that we were talking about Chloe Zhao earlier, because he's also from the Marvel universe. He did Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
That was a good Marvel film. I will.
You liked that?
I thought that was a good Marvel film.
God, I hated it so much. Really?
Oh, no.
Yeah. And he's doing the next Spider-Man, which is interesting.
Okay. The one they're filming right now.
Yeah, the one they're filming. So big Marvel guy now. But this film, Short Term 12, this was one of the earlier films he made, very independent. And it was actually based on a short film of his that he'd already done. And this is starring Brie Larson, who is Miss Marvel. It's all coming back to Marvel, man. You can't discuss movies anymore without leading back to that. But yeah, I think it was the first leading performance of Brie Larson's, and you've got Rami Malek in it.
Oh, cool.
Who and Lakeith Stanfield and all these Caitlin Dever, all these people at the time who you were like you'd never seen before. This was 2013. And now they're all massive, massive names. But it was a really, really interesting film because it was he based the movie on his own experience, Cretton, working in a group facility for teenagers. And Brie Larson is like a supervisor of a group home for troubled teenagers. And I'll be honest with you, Luke, I can't remember much more beyond that. But I remember watching it and thinking, this is such a lovely movie.
Okay, cool.
So, and it's like the American version of this movie.
Okay, that sounds cool.
So I'll recommend it. Yeah.
Okay,
Short Term 12.
Check it out.
Yeah.
My pairing was with Dead Poets Society.
Oh, we love to pair. Yes. Okay.
I think the parallels are quite obvious, but as a pairing, I think it would be quite cool or interesting to see two very different groups of young people with very different upbringings, living very different lives within very different institutions. Maybe go through some similar things and how their relationship with a mentor changes and what that relationship is like. Yeah.
That's actually quite perfect. Yeah, that's actually quite perfect. Excellent. You know, it's one of those celebrated movies that I just can't.
Really? Okay.
I just don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
I really like it. It's my favourite Robin Williams movie. by far.
It is?
By far.
Oh my word. Oh. And I love the director. Peter Weir, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Truman Show. Yeah.
Truman Show, man, which I think is the best thing he ever did. But I always wanted to watch Picnic at Hanging Rock. I think he did a movie called Picnic at Hanging Rock, and I've always wanted to see that and more, because I think there's so much more I need to explore with him. But I remember in the old film club that we were in, it haunts me to this day. But I remember it was the only time I never spoke up to reveal my actual thoughts on it. Everyone else was on it. They praised it. And I just went with the flow.
Oh, no.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't just say what but it was... Because, listen, I've got no problem expressing my opinion, even when it goes against the grain. But yeah, for some reason, I didn't. And because I really wanted to like it. And there's so much about it that I do like. I love Ethan Hawke in that movie. I love Robin Williams. There's another young kid who became a really, really big character actor, lots of TV shows, can't remember his name, but he's great in it, yeah, but it left me cold.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, either way, it's
a
fucking fantastic pairing, yeah. And it's and if anyone watched these movies together, I mean, I think they're perfect as a trilogy of films, yeah, so good.
Cool.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's another winner.
Yeah, awesome.
Winner.
This is becoming a very good year for movies, I have to say.
It is shaping up to be, to be very, very good.
Or maybe we're just cherry picking the best ones.
Yeah, maybe. What was the one we did before? One Battle After Another. Oh, it was Central Station.
And The Materialist before that.
And then, it had to get better.
That's the only doozy I can think of from this year, to be honest. But
I think there has to be always like one doozy. I mean, last year it was like Challengers for me, This year I think it's going to be Materialists. Yeah.
that top 10, that list of bests from the year in December is going to become a bit tricky.
I'm looking forward to that.
Down.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, my friend.
Cool.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you on the next one, buddy.
See you on the next one.
All right. And yes, I think it goes without saying that we highly recommend Steve. It is available to watch on Netflix, but if it is showing in a local cinema near you, go watch it on the big screen. It's worth it. I hope Mielant and Murphy continue to work and make movies together, because we really like what they're doing. And that is all from us today. Our music and editing is by Stefan Krieger. Find more of his stuff at stefan-krieger.com. Like us, share us, review us, subscribe to us if you like what you're hearing. And then join us next time to discuss whatever the Phoenix Cinema may be showing next. Until then, bye for now.